today I played round number 5 of the Chess Olympiad here in Chennai in India. And today Sweden played against a team of Hungary, which is a very strong team. Now, the only memory I ever have of playing against Hungary is from a few years ago, back in the 2016 Chess Olympiad, when I blundered a pawn in move 5 against a Hungarian player, and Judith Polgar was watching that game, right at that moment. So I was just hoping that today something like that would not happen again. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you my game from today. Hope you guys enjoy the recap. So I was playing with the black pieces, and my opponent was like 2330 from Hungary, international master. She started with d4, and then I went d5, and then she went knight f3. And because I was expecting the London, I didn't want to go like either e6 or c6 or anything, because I wanted to get I thought we might get into the London, so I just went knight f6. And then she went c4, e6, and I was surprised when she played c4. Like, here she surprised me. She already surprised me at move 3 with c4. I was not expecting c4 at all. And I thought here now that, we would just get like a normal queen's gambit, but then she goes for the Catalan. And I was just trying to remember everything that I learned from when I played the Catalan against Magnus, because I played the line that I played against her, against Magnus Carlsen, in the park in Madrid. And because I did like an analysis video of that, I actually had gone through the game. So I was like, Anna, remember everything, because I was completely out of prep. I was like, Anna, just remember everything from the Magnus Carlsen video that you did. That was everything I was trying to do. I was just trying to remember from that. Anyway, so I went bishop b4. And well, I mean, the idea of the Catalan is just basically that you're just going bishop g2, and you're basically just going to be looking at this d5 pawn. You're going to be activating this bishop, and at some point white typically tries to go for e4. Those are the ideas of the Catalan, and it's a very solid opening, and people, this is Ding Liren's best opening. I mean, top players use the Catalan. It's a great opening. And so I went for the line that I've always played, and probably, I don't know if she had prepared this, but I mean, I guess, because I've played this my whole life. I went for bishop b4 check, and the idea of bishop b4 is that I'm basically sort of forcing white to put a bad square in front of, to stop the check. So, the idea here is that after b4 check, she needs to go either bishop d2, knight d2, or knight c3. So you can go for any of these. So against knight c3 and knight bd2, I'm going to be taking this pawn on c4, and then I'm going to try to go c5, knight c6, and I'm just immediately going to try to break the center. Yeah, and that's what I learned from the Magnus Carlsen game, because he actually played knight bd2, I believe. But she played bishop d2. Now, I need to go back with my bishop now. I don't want to take here because I actually want to keep my dark squared bishop. So, I mean, I can also go a5, but then there's a3, and my pawn doesn't always want to be on a5. So, I can either go bishop d6 or bishop e7. Now, I typically go bishop d6 because with the bishop on d6, I'm going to try to play e5 as black. This bishop is going to hold on to this, and I'm also stopping bishop f4. So I went back with my bishop, and here it may look like I've lost the tempo, but the idea is that I could have gone bishop d6 now. Okay, so imagine at this point I go bishop d6 now. The bishop is better placed here than it is on d2. I am just forcing white to put a bishop in a worse square. And the reason why the bishop is bad here is because sometimes the knight wants to go to d2, now the knight cannot go to d2 anymore. So, that is the idea of bishop b4 check. So she went bishop d2, I went bishop d6. And yeah, like I said, now this bishop is a bit weirdly placed. The queen can also not come out now, etc. So now I should play this in a way that I've never, seen this being played. I've never played against this. She went knight c3 here. Typically, when I play this in the past, my opponents have gone bishop g2, and then I've gone, c6, knight bd7, and castles, and it's just become, a completely different, position. Things like this have, is, what have happened. Castles, knight bd7, then maybe knight c3 or whatever, and then stuff like this, and then maybe castles, and then b3. This is a very common way for the Catalan to continue. But okay, she went knight c3 immediately, and I think she was she had prepared the idea of queen c2, e4, but I was actually really surprised. So here I went c6, and c6 might be a mistake, I was just playing this the exact same way that I would have played it if she went bishop g2, because this is the only thing I knew. I don't know if it would have been better to just go castles now or something, but and then maybe go for c5. I don't know. But I just thought that my pawn always wants to be on c6 because I was scared of her like taking here. So I went c6 just so that knight here would not like be possible. She went queen c2 first, yeah. Then I went knight bd7 just to bring my knight out. And then she went e4, and I've never played against this. I've never had someone like not play bishop g2 in the Catalan. And it's really cool because actually now I will like learn this. So I think my opponent had prepared this because she was playing fairly quickly. And she like always knew what she was doing. So I think she had prepared this and probably thought that I would do what I did, which is to just go for the same setup that I typically go for. But apparently maybe you shouldn't do that here. So in this position, I feel like I have to take here, like otherwise, like if I do not take, then like she's just gonna be pushing, and the threat here is a fork. And I cannot like, I don't know, like e5 looks super scary. So I thought I had to take. The reason why I took with the knight was because I was scared that after pawn takes, she could go like knight g5. Which I don't know why I was scared of that, but yeah, because I can go maybe e5 or something. I was like looking at this, but yeah. I don't know. I thought it was going to be the same thing. So I just decided to take with the knight to leave that opportunity like from her. And then she took. I mean, she just has to take. The pawn is hanging. And here in this position, I thought my knight wanted to be on f6. I went knight f6. And then she went queen c2 in this position. And then here I went c5 because I really just thought that if I don't go c5, my bishop is going to be like horrible for the whole game. But yeah, I think that maybe would have been better to go c5 when my knight was in d7. I just saw a position where this bishop absolutely sucked, and I didn't want to like not give any life to this bishop. Like, do you know what I mean, guys? Okay, so in this position, after queen c2, I went for c5. And then after c5, she took, which is a good move. I mean, she was playing so well. Because if she goes something like bishop g2, then I think that I have like takes, and I think that her knight is just maybe not so well placed here. So I was actually like not so scared of that. I was probably, I think, gonna go just castles or something here. But she took here, and then I went bishop takes c5. So takes, and then she went b4. And in this position, guys, I was analyzing for quite a while because because I was looking at this move. I was looking at bishop d4. I was looking at this for quite a while. I thought that if knight takes d4, queen takes d4, so takes, I was thinking that in this position, if bishop c3, I thought that queen g4 might be interesting, because if bishop e2, I was thinking queen h3, and then, you know, she can't castle, and I don't know, I thought this looked like a little bit interesting. So I was like looking at all this. I knew that there was like queen check, but then I'm just losing a pawn, and I don't think I want to like lose a pawn. Takes, bishop takes g7, so I was looking at all this. And also the idea of queen g4 is that if bishop g2, then I can just take the pawn on c4. So actually with my queen on g4, I'm threatening queen f3. I'm threatening queen h3 if the bishop goes somewhere else. And the bishop cannot go to g2 because there's queen takes c4. And then I'm pinning here. So I was actually looking at this for quite a while. I know that the eval bar is saying that this is like really good for white, but I don't know, in my brain this looked a bit interesting like during the game. And what do you guys think about this? Does it look scary or does it not look scary? Yeah. What do you think, chat, about this? What happens on bishop takes f6? I actually wouldn't have minded this because bishop takes f6. Well, actually, like bishop takes f6, g takes f6. I wasn't so scared about this because I thought that this bishop was just so strong. So here I was thinking that it's something like bishop g2 or whatever. Then I can just go castles. And after castles, I was even thinking of going e5. And I thought that my bishop was actually going to become, like, pretty strong. I mean, I wanted to go, like, queen down, maybe f5, e4, and then get my bishop out. I was thinking about all of these sorts of things, like bishop e6. So, yeah, so these were, like, the different thoughts that I was having, like, during the game. But anyways, I thought this was a little bit scary, and I was a little bit scared to get into this. I thought it was better to just go back. So I went bishop e7 because I didn't want my bishop to be able to get kicked out in a move. And then after bishop e7, she went for bishop, did she go for bishop g2? Yeah, now finally, after everything, she went for bishop g2. And then here I thought for a little while, I wasn't sure if it was better to castle or to go bishop d7 first. The idea of going bishop d7 first was that if knight e5 now, then I have queen c7, and then if bishop f4 is now not possible because I have bishop takes b4 check. So by waiting a move, by having us both castle, after knight e5, after bishop d7, knight e5, queen c7, bishop f4 is possible because I cannot take here with check anymore. So I was considering this, but my plan was after bishop d7 and knight e5 was to go bishop a4. This is the reason why I played it the way that I did. That was the reason for why I castled first, was because I was so sure that I could go bishop a4. And I was analyzing this. I calculated this for way too long, and at some point, when you're calculating something, you just almost force it to work because you just cannot waste time calculating something else. It's like when you've put too much time into something and then you're this has to work because otherwise it's just been a waste of time. Do you know what I mean? So I had already spent 25 minutes at bishop a4 calculating it, and I didn't like it, but a part of me just wanted to still go bishop a4 because I had calculated it for so long. I ended up not doing it because I thought it was bad, but I was looking at it for so long. And okay, so the idea is that if I'm basically giving up the bishop, but her bishop is hanging. So the idea is that if she goes something like queen b2, actually I think my plan was to go queen b6. Yeah, well, my plan during the game was to be able to go something like queen b6, because if c5, then I can take it, because if pawn takes, the queen is hanging. And now I'm also defending my pawn and everything, so I thought that this was fine. I was thinking if bishop c3, I can just go rook d8 or something, and I thought that this was fine. And if she goes queen c3, then I think this is bad, because then I could just go something then this queen would be pretty badly placed here because it would stop her from being able to go bishop c3. And then I thought that I could go something like queen c7, queen c8, and I just thought the queen was worse placed here. So anyways, this is not scary. Her moving the queen is not scary. The critical move is if she takes the bishop, right? So I thought this was a way for me to get activity, but the reason I didn't play it was because after queen takes a4, I need to take the bishop. I was scared if bishop takes b7, I need to go rook b8. Now, if knight c6, I have rook takes b7, so that doesn't work. So I was scared of the move, and actually the only move that is scary is queen takes a7. If this wouldn't work, this line would be completely fine for me. If she goes bishop g2 or anything to defend it, then I can just take here. If she goes queen f3, then I can just take this pawn. If I'm able to take this pawn, I'm fine. I just cannot let her have two pawns that are passed and protected together. So, but the issue with this was that there was queen takes a7, and here I was calculating queen takes b4, and then I saw rook a b1. And the issue was that whenever I moved my queen, because in this position, if she goes knight c6, then I can still go rook takes b7, and this is fine. Because if takes, I just take back with the queen, and if she takes the queen, then I take this queen. So this is really fine. So I wasn't scared of this was knight c6 was never an issue. But the issue was that she had rook a b1. And then whenever I go somewhere, I was looking at a bunch of moves. But the issue is that wherever I go now with my queen, she's going to have knight c6. And because of this knight c6 and this variation, I didn't play this whole line. So I was analyzing all this for 25 minutes, but I just couldn't make it work, which was really annoying. But yeah, so I had seen all this, and my conclusion was that bishop a4 does not work. So I ended up not doing it, but I didn't know what to do. I thought to myself, if I don't go bishop a4, what do I do now? So I was thinking, okay, probably I should go queen c8, but queen c8 just looks so sad. I don't know. Queen c8 looks so sad. My rooks were not connected. Probably this is the best move in the position. Probably this is what I had to do. Okay, I didn't go queen c8. I ended up going queen c7. That was the move that I ended up going for. So I ended up going queen c7. And after queen c7, I was really expecting bishop f4. But she didn't go for this. And okay, this was I was quite happy when she took here. I need to take back with the knight because, well, I thought that queen takes d7 was bad because I thought in bishop f4 she gets a lot of squares. So I took back with the knight because, I don't know, like I said, queen takes d7, I just thought that bishop f4, her pieces would get very active and I can never go bishop d6 due to rook a d1. So I didn't really like that. So I took with the knight, also because I wanted to be able to go e5 at some point. And now she went rook a c1. And I think this is when okay, no, I guess it's fine. I went rook a c8, I thought this was fine because at some point I knew that I might want to go b6. Like, in fact, if like my rook was not here, I would go b6 now. I knew that b6 was an important move at some point because her move c5 is very strong. But so I went rook ac8 to be able to go b6. But of course, she went c5 before I could go b6, which is sad. And c5 is a very good move because what she's doing when she's going c5 is that, one, she's stopping b6, but now, like, it's gonna be hard for me to, like, move, like, these pawns. And this pawn is just, like, really great on c5. I was already in time trouble now, actually. I'd been thinking a lot. I was here, I didn't exactly know what to do. I was considering going b5. I knew that b5 positionally sucks, but I also, like, wanted to get a knight over here to c4. Like, that was my plan. So I was just trying to somehow... I wanted also to go knight b8, knight c6, and just create, like a blockade here. But I just, like... I was just, like, really scared. I was just really scared of going b5. So I thought, I can go a6. I was already in a bit of time trouble here. I can go a6. Idea being that, okay, she can't, like, ever, like, you know, push too much. And the idea after a6 is that I also wanted to, like... I wanted to stop her from being able to go b5 at any point, so I wanted to, like, be able to go, like, knight e5, knight c6, and just, like, I don't know, something like this, I don't know, but a6 was a big mistake, I think, because the moment I played a6, I saw that my pawn is hanging, and she played a really good move, which is to go queen e4. I mean, it's the best move, and I saw it after, like, I did this, and I just knew that this, like, was really bad, and so... yeah, so now I was like, I should have gone b5 before, because now at least, like, my pawn wouldn't be hanging. And here I was also, like, thinking for a while. I didn't know if I could, like, give this pawn, but I didn't think so. The issue is that if this pawn falls, the other one falls as well. So everything was just kind of, like, falling. Like, my pawns were just falling apart. It was crazy. It was crazy. But she played so well, though. Like, she hasn't played a single bad move in this whole game. Yeah, it was really hard at this point. I mean, I just had a really bad position already, like, over here. Like, she was just playing so well as well. Like, she, like, never gave, like, any, you know, little chance. She was just, like, always, like, playing great moves. And it was really hard. So I guess here the best move for me would have been to go b6. Because if she's... the reason why I didn't go b6 was because I was a bit scared of c6. But I guess here, knight f6, queen e2, and now I can go b5, and this would definitely have been a better version of, like, what I played. So I definitely think that b6 was the best move. I actually don't know why I didn't play it. So I went b5. So yeah, so I knew that positionally, like, this was lost, but I just wanted to do something. Yeah, she went rook fd1 first. She did go rook fd1 first. And then I just went rook fd8. I think this might have been... I don't know. I was low on time. Maybe this is just a waste of a move because I guess my rook is not really doing anything over there. So maybe it would have been better to go something like knight f6 or something. But I went rook fd8 just to get a quick move in. I thought it might be nice to, like, be looking towards his bishop a bit. And now she went queen, like, b7. And okay, this is, like, already a +3 for white because I cannot take here because then after bishop takes b7, my rook is going to be hanging, my pawn is going to be hanging. And I was looking at things like this. Like rook c7, rook b8, trying to trap the bishop. But the issue here is that there is, wait, is there bishop f4? Well, actually, I was scared of c6, and then bishop f4. I was actually looking at stuff like this, knight e5, bishop f4, and then f6. Yeah, so I didn't want to go queen takes b7, so... well, the core of all my problems is the c pawn, okay? That is, like, really, like, the core of all my problems in this position. But I also thought that bishop f4 was a big issue. So I was trying to do something. I tried to activate my pieces by going g5. I went g5 in this position because I wanted to stop bishop f4. Knight e5 looks pretty. I wanted to go knight e5 and I wanted to go knight c4. I was just trying to somehow block this rook from, like, protecting this. And I knew that I was, like, giving a pawn, but that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to play a bit for piece activity. I thought that if I don't, I'm just gonna lose. Like, I thought that maybe objectively the best was to take on b7, but I just knew that I was gonna lose these two pawns, and boom, this was gonna become a queen. So I was trying when I was in time trouble to just create some play with my pieces because I realized that I was lost here. So I went g5 to stop bishop f4. That was at least the idea. But yeah, the passer is a monster. She went queen takes a6. And I went rook b8, defending this pawn. And okay, actually I thought she was gonna go queen c6 here, but then I thought, my plan was that I actually didn't see a4. And I thought that if she goes queen c6, then I thought that, okay, I have takes, knight e5, and I thought that this is like almost like, I mean, I didn't think this was good, but I thought that after some, I wanted to go bishop f6 because I wanted to go knight c4 and I didn't want her to have bishop c3. But okay, I wasn't sure if I was going to go bishop f6 or if I was going to go knight c4, if I was going to go knight d3 in a position like this. But okay, I thought I had a little bit more play here. Like, I thought at least I could fight a little bit in this position. But she didn't do that. She did a move that was really good, which was a4, and I hadn't seen a4. So she's just basically forcing me to take the pawn, and then she's gonna get two passed pawns together. So she's just exchanging this pawn for this one, which is great because she wants to create a free path in front of the other pawn. Now queen takes a4. I went knight e5. I was just trying to activate my knight. She played bishop c3. Man, she's just like playing all the good moves. It's crazy. I was a bit scared that my knight was gonna get stuck, so I think I went g4, which is a bad move, I think. But I had like 10 seconds here. I was just trying to do something. I mean, yeah, there was like nothing that could be done here, but yeah. She took on e5. I was a bit surprised when she took. I was happy because, well, I mean, I wasn't happy. I was actually really sad in this position, but okay, that bishop was like terrible for me, so I was just happy that at least her bishop here was gone. So in a way, I was a little bit happy. And then she went c6, and she was threatening now to go c7, which just wins a rook. So this is like a huge fork. So here I just had to stop the forks. Yeah, I couldn't go rook takes b4 because, well, then it was just rook takes rook, and then bishop takes rook. I'm losing the rook over here. So I went rook c8. Now I'm threatening to go for rook takes b4. So she went rook b1 to go b4. I went rook b5 to block the pawn from pushing because I need to try to stop this pawn from pushing, because if this pawn pushes, then this pawn is just going to become like super strong, and these two pawns together are just going to promote. So I went rook b5 trying to stop this from pushing. She went bishop f1 just to kick my rook away. So now my rook is being kicked out, which is very sad because my rook was chilling there being happy. I went rook d5. And okay, I mean, she just played this so well. I mean, I was really hoping for something like this, takes. And okay, b5, I was hoping for bishop c5, and I was like praying a little bit. I mean, I was thinking like b6, I was looking at stuff like bishop takes f2, takes, queen f5 check, you know, king g1, taking on over here, queen takes b1. But you know, the funny thing is that even if I get this, which is like the best position that I can get, even here, it's still lost for me, which I just find like so funny. It's like crazy. Like these two pawns are so strong. Honestly, guys, pawns like this, they're invincible. Like, they're so strong. You get two pawns together on the sixth rank, and boom, they're just gonna promote. Like, they're so strong, guys. So I was actually just trying to go for something like this, but she didn't even allow me that. She went b5 immediately. So I went h5 just to defend the pawn. Rook, yeah, she took here first. Then I went queen takes, and then b6. And I went bishop c5 just because I wanted to sacrifice. And she went bishop c7, and I thought, okay, we need to sacrifice here. So I just took. If she went b7, then I was gonna go rook b8. And this is also like, I mean, really, really losing for me. I mean, there's so many different moves, but rook b5 is one of the moves. And the idea is that if queen takes c6, there's rook g5 check, and I'm losing the queen, and this is just super GG. So this is quite nice. Yeah, but she went c7, and I had to sacrifice my bishop because otherwise she's just promoting. Like, if I, for instance, like, there's like, if I went queen b7 to block the pawn, then there's just bishop g2, and she's just gonna promote. So I just took here. She took back, and then she went queen e8 check. I was somehow hoping something here, but there was nothing to hope for. And she went rook b8, and I was just getting checkmated now, guys. Like, it was like pretty much impossible to not get checkmated. Okay, I could have resigned here. I went f5, which is like the worst move in the position, but I mean, like, I'm just gonna lose. Like, king f6, there's queen h8 check. I guess king e7, and there's like rook e8, and then after this, there's just so many moves, like queen f8 check, and goes up, and I mean, queen here, and now I cannot go there because of this check. I have to go back. So yeah, I did f5 when I had like 2 seconds left, and then queen h8, king g6. No, I went, yeah, if king g6, there's rook g8 checkmate. So I went king f7, and after queen h7 check, I resigned. So this is the game, guys. This is my attempt at beating an IM, but it didn't work out. Sometimes it can be good to keep on playing if there's a lot of people still playing in your team. Just because the moment you resign, you're basically like saying that, you know, you've lost and everyone knows that you've lost. Whereas most people in your team don't know how you're doing until there's actually a result. So sometimes there's a point in keeping on playing, but here it was just, yeah, there was nothing I could do. It was just GG.